Miracle knots have been making their rounds, and I think it's safe to say they're here to stay. So naturally, we have graduated to some new color options. Today we're doing miracle knots without the knots. Let's get into it. Today's video is brought to us by EayonHair. They sent me over 4 packs of their loose, deep feather crochet in 18 inches. And this one is super exciting because now we have some color options. This is in the color 42730. Absolutely stunning. The video does the color absolutely no justice. I already know this is going to be in super high demand for this summer. If you're new here, this is feather crochet human hair, and that means it is human hair that is tied together with a very thin thread. That makes it easy to install and also makes the hair reusable. Each pack comes with 50 strands in it, and for today's look, we use 4 packs, but if you want a super full look or if you don't have dense hair like this client, you'll want at least 5. Everyone, welcome to the channel. My model TT, she has been dying to get this hair done. Listen to her real quick.
I'm very excited. I've been actually thinking of this day for the past like 3 days, so I'm really excited. Come Vandy.
Excited is definitely an understatement for my girl here. She has been looking forward to this appointment all week, so let's get into this install. So TT has extremely thick, extremely dense hair, so much so that I asked her to actually press it out so that we could get through this a little bit quicker. I also won't need to add any braiding hair because that's how thick her hair is. Now when it comes to feather crochet, counting your strands is key. You want to make sure that you have enough strands for the amount of braids you plan to install. And the amount of strands you have will determine how many pieces you add to each braid. If you counted them all but you're still not sure, just start with less in the back and work your way up to the front. That way when you get to the end and you have leftover pieces, you can use those to fill in any blank spaces. Most people will pre-part their hair for miracle knots, so it's easy to count for this, but since I'm doing this the feed-in way and I'm not a pre-parter, I part as I go. I played it safe by adding as few pieces as possible to the first 3 rows. So the very first row in the back, I only added pieces at the end to extend the braids, and then when I got to the second and third row, I added 1 piece at the shaft at the top and then 1 piece at the end of the braids to extend them. Now because I did not add any braiding hair, the length of her braids are going to be dependent on the length of her natural hair. Once I extend it at the ends of her natural hair, that's where it's going to end with the length. If she wanted it longer, then I would have had to add braiding hair to extend the braid. To seal the ends and keep them from unraveling, I don't like to use glue for this because we do want to reuse this hair. Instead, I do a slip knot method, and for added security, I like to use this crochet slip knot method where you wrap it around the shaft of the crochet hook, pull it through the knot downward. This kind of keeps the knot from sticking out. It keeps the hair flowing downward. Once I got to the 4th row, then I started adding 3 pieces per braid, and I wanted to make sure that I added a piece at the root of her braid so that she would have more fullness at the top. Feeding in the hair for miracle knots instead of actually crocheting the knots in has quite a few benefits. One, you can minimize the appearance of the thread so it looks more like you have boho braids. However, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've been wearing this for probably the better half of 8 months, and I have no issues with the thread showing. It's really just a personal preference. Another key benefit of feeding the hair in is that there's less tension and stress on the natural hair when you start to manipulate it and comb it and brush it and pull it. Whenever you have the knots in your hair, it's more likely that the knots will tighten, and when you start pulling on them, they'll start pulling on your natural hair. So if you have fine hair, it is definitely more ideal for you to feed these in instead of crocheting them in. A last key benefit is takedown. Takedown is super easy. All you do is unravel the braid and everything comes out with it, and you can reuse the hair. If you are using products like braid gels or edge control or anything like that, I cannot stress enough how important it is to not put it on the human hair, only use it for the braids. What I like to do is only add the product to my thumb and index finger, and then I use the rest of my fingers to pull the hair out of the way. primarily because once you get product on human hair absorbs the product and tends to stick to it. And the only way to get it out is to shampoo it out. And the last thing you want to do is shampoo your fresh braids on week 1. So try your best not to put sticky products on the human hair. So not counting prep, this install took me a total of 4 hours beginning to end. And I just want to touch on the fact that there are a lot of people who either can't do their own hair or won't do their own hair, and they have the means to pay somebody else to do it. So let's stop shaming people for paying someone else to get this done, because as you can see, this is quite a tedious process. It's not much different from any other knotless braid style. It still took me some time to prep. It still took me some time to actually do this install. As you can see, there is a certain level of skill required to complete this look as it is. So the price is going to be the price, whatever that price may be. Either you can do it yourself or you can't. Either you can afford it or you can't. Pick your poison. But what we got to stop doing is coming on the internet without any level of expertise. I mean, people who don't braid hair for a living telling other people what they should and should not do with their hair. At the end of the day, it's your head. You have to go home with it. You have to live with it. You should actually know it better than I do. Since we don't go home with you and live with you throughout the duration of the time you're wearing that style, my job as the professional is to provide you guidance, resources, and a strategy for your hair goals, whatever those goals might be. Whatever you choose to do with the information that I provide you is totally up to you. The key with any relationship, including the one with your stylist, is communication, because teamwork makes the dream work. So anywho, I'm on the last 2 rows, and as you can see, I'm adding in more pieces. I believe it was 4 on this row, and then I think I did 4 or 5 on the last 2 rows. But we want to make sure that we're saving as much hair as possible for the front. Her hair was also longer at the top, so I wanted to make sure I had more pieces so that I could evenly distribute the hair throughout the braids. So yeah, round of applause for this color combo. It was a perfect match to her natural hair color. Depending on how well she takes care of this and how fast her hair grows, she can get 6 to 8 weeks of wear out of this. She'll be able to unravel the braids, save those pieces of hair, and install it for another day. As always, if you learned something new, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend. It helps the channel out so much. Special thanks to our friends over at EayonHair for sponsoring today's video. All the information you need about this hair and products used will be listed in the description box below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. We're almost at 400K, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.